Hi, I believe we need change in our town council to push forward the progress demanded from the public, and I hope to be a part of that. My name is Patrick Drumm, and I'm running to represent District 3 on the town council. I originally came to Amherst in 2006 as an undergrad at UMass, where I met my now wife and also worked full time for several years in the Auxiliary Services Department at UMass before we left the area in 2013. In 2020, we moved back with our two young kids in order to raise them in Amherst's tight knit community, enroll them in our great public school system, and enjoy the numerous outdoor offerings in and around Amherst. Professionally, I'm an IT project manager at Verizon, where my role is to work with dozens of competing stakeholders to compromise on a solution that fits the majority. I believe this skill and my interest in hearing from all sides of the issue can help push the conversation and management of our city forward. I believe we should invest in increasing our tax base. While Amherst is in the unique position for its size to be able to house three colleges, it also puts our city in the predicament of having roughly a third of our land not getting taxed. This, unfortunately, has led us having among the highest property taxes in the state and contributes to the increases in rents and a growing exodus of young families who find living in Amherst unaffordable. While I appreciate the town manager's work on forming strategic partnerships with the colleges in order to help offset the tax revenue, the partnerships offer but a fraction of what's missed, and we should continue to explore what avenues we can take to increase the contributions from the colleges. In addition, I believe we should continue to explore converting our unused city lots to tax generating endeavors such as affordable housing developments. We need to demand an increase in our capital improvement spending and effective land use. I believe we're spending too little of our budget, not just on improvements, but also maintenance, which is in effect kicking the issues down the road where the project price tags will continue to inflate. Too many buildings and roads are in disrepair, and the budget for making the fixes continues to grow smaller relative to the costs. For the major issues the city has identified, I do not support borrowing the money to build out the main library, and believe that money should instead be spent building the South Amherst Fire Station and the DPW building. I would also like to see more spending on maintenance for our Parks and Rec department. Beyond the numerous complaints I've received on the condition of our sports facilities, I'd like to see the city properly make use of Hickory Ridge as an outdoor destination instead of what I'm now seeing as an overground tick haven. Affordable housing is also an issue that I would like to see tackled at the city level. As a young family looking to buy our first house in Amherst, we became acutely aware of how prevalent it was to have landlords buy up starter properties for student rentals. The increase in property values over the last few years has made home ownership a fleeting dream for many in our community as rental units increase not just in number, but also in the cost to rent. As a city, we should be pressuring UMass to not just explore, but act on expanding its on-campus housing offerings as it continues to increase enrollment to take pressure off of a community that is struggling to accommodate the off-campus students. In addition to the student housing issues, I approve of the interest to convert unused city-owned lots to affordable housing for the families of our community that continue to struggle. I also have a keen interest in our schools, not just because I have two kids at Crocker Farm, but also because my wife is a school teacher and I'm very aware of the struggles teachers and staff deal with on a day-to-day basis. I support increasing funding for our schools in order to bring our school staff's pay in line with the competitive rates in the eastern part of the state. I would also be interested in the expansion of our pre-K and after-school offerings so that the families that want to be able to participate are afforded that opportunity instead of the mad dashes we're seeing today to fight over limited spaces. In closing, I adore our city, but there are areas where I want to work with my fellow council members to make it great. As a town council, we should strive to meet the needs of the public with transparency and listen to their input. Too often, it seems like this city pursues narrow interests at the expense of the city's overall health, when the approach should be holistic. Not to take away from the current council's endeavors, as can be seen with the work done for the new elementary school, but there should be a more urgent pace to the outstanding items that are impacting the city's day-to-day function.